guys. Welcome in. Oh, all right. Well, we're doing pretty good with the likes to start. Salute to everyone here. Let's see who is here. Let's check and see. Let's check and see. Okay, we got Nick in the building. Hey, Nick, how are you? Good to see you. We got Pat Blair in the building. We got Barbara J. We got Kat. We got okay. We got Barbara J. We got Kat. Who else we got going on here? Got Young J. Oh, okay. We got Azalea's Banks. ACG is in the building. What's LA Chick? Hey, what's going on, family? So yeah, you know, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was right in the heat of the beginning of the Diddy trial. Matter of fact, it was the first week when this picture happened. Do you guys remember? Hey, love, Leroy. Hey, Myrna, how you doing, sweetie? Do you guys remember this? Do you remember this live? I think it was titled "When Does God Step In" or something like that. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. It was so much has happened, but this was back, yeah, first week of the Diddy trial. Hey, Kimberly, welcome. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone who drops a line and drops some love. And please don't forget to hit the like on your way in. Okay. Now, this was right as we first started reporting about the Damore Hadley story. When we first started reporting about the case. And it was something else because I had said to everyone, the way that they've been just combating everyone, the way that they've been going after everyone, the way that they've been doing all of the things that they've been doing in the backdrop, it has to be for a bigger reason. And boom. Boom. Oh, you like the thumbnail? Salute to Set in the West. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's I told you all. They were so busy working on their PR. They were so busy trying to clean up their image in the public eye. They were so busy doing so many things. And you know what? I wasn't for it. And apparently neither was anyone there, you know? And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I believe in the God that I serve because God said no. They said no too, but God said no. And I had told all of you, we're going to pray that this thing doesn't happen because it's a travesty and it shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen. Hmm. How are you feeling about the news?
It's good that the bid was not approved. So it looks like what was it? $5.4 billion um, was reportedly the proposal involving the realty with SL Green Realty and Caesars.
Mm.
So it was disapproved. Decision was a victory for the community group who opposed the project's impact on Broadway. I mean, I've only been to New York a few times, and the area that we were at, where Broadway is, I think it would just it wasn't a good look for the area in
We had
general.
dinner
Like,
in Times Square. I won't say where we had dinner. We had dinner in Times Square. I walked you through. I was telling you about what it was like, back when I was a kid. You saw it. We took the picture with that unflattering you know, sculpture that everyone hates. Everything that was going on around there. And a casino dead smack in the middle of that. Really? Hello?
yeah, yeah, no, you're talking. I'm listening.
Oh, no, 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 no. I was just interjecting because I'm like, yeah, you were there. You were right there, dead smack in the middle of Times Square. We walked all through there. Like you were saying in your opinion.
No, it wouldn't have fit the the location, the area. Broadway is Broadway, and I think that area should just be pretty much for the theaters. There's a lot of theaters. There's a lot of live, plays, things like that. Adding the casino to that area, and it's Caesar's Palace. It's the branded casino. I don't think it would have fit. Now Nas, who has his dealings with the casino organization in Queens, so I guess it's not Times Square. It's more than likely going to be beneficial to the area, but it's still kind of like it's still a casino because we were talking about that weeks back when casinos still they bring a certain element. I talked about the casino in Compton and Gardena. I mean, yeah, a few people may get jobs. It might be beneficial for the short sighted, but overall, it still brings a certain element to a neighborhood. So Nas got his going in Queens. Nas, Ether, Jay Z again. As I said, Jay Z is mad, and like you said, God said no, and yeah, I think it's a good thing. It doesn't need they don't
Yeah,
need
but
to.
not only that, where that casino and let's not call it Nas's casino because I mean
Well, it's not. It's not Nas's, but I'm just saying we talked about Nas's
he's affiliated with it, and they
affiliation
used
with
his
the new
name.
casino. Yeah, yeah, and it's still not a good thing either. I'm not saying that that's a good thing
Yeah,
for
but it's
Queens.
out there by the airport though. Like
So that makes sense.
where it's at, it's not in a residential area. There's not children that walk through that area. You know what I mean? It's a completely different thing. It's not
My thing
Times
is,
Square. I mean, you got
yeah, my thing,
MTV
the
Studios there.
president.
You have a bunch of children walking by there. You have
Listen, the president for the Broadway, the league of the Broadway League president, he he said a casino can go anywhere, but Broadway only lives here. What made them think it was a good idea to have it in Times Square? Why didn't they
I
just
don't
say, Marcy? I mean, I don't
well
know.
because Times Square. Times Square. Every sucker that walks into New York walks through Times Square. That's why. Because it's Times Square. Because it's prime real estate. It's constant foot traffic. It's constant tourism. It's Times Square. You know, for New Yorkers who want to make it big in New York, anything that you can get in Manhattan is a big deal, especially if you come from, the boroughs. But to be able to say that you got something in Times Square, that's huge. That's huge. I think it's more about I think it was more about the prestige of it. And then not only that, the foot traffic, the walking, the people all the way around, everything that was going on. Like it's just kind of sad because that's really all that mattered. All that mattered was the money and the prestige. And that's what this organization is really all about. They're all about the look of things. They're all about, you know, having an impressive portfolio, the way things look. And that was the one thing that really stuck out to me when Demore was talking about the lawsuit and how her and Javon never really wanted to go after her mom publicly, how that wasn't what they were really trying to accomplish. And hey, we want to thank everyone for the 93 likes, but we could use 100 more, at least 100 more. Um, you know, but she said her mother was going to be more concerned with her reputation. And maybe if they made a public stand, that would be enough to get her to leave them alone. And I'm just thinking about, the footage that I saw of this meeting today, and they were upset. They were upset. And whoever, because, people got to realize this wasn't just Rock Nation. There were other people. Like, I think they thought that using Rock Nation and having Jay Z's face and his name and his profile and him being married to Beyonce, I think that they thought that that was going to make it cool and make people, all excited about being a part of it and, whoop de whoop de woo and whatever. And I it's just wild to me because when that guy started screaming, did you hear him screaming, honey, when he was talking about, you, I don't know how you're going to be able to sleep at night. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't know. You don't know what you just did. Oh, do you know what you just did? And he was very upset. And this is not an ethnic man at all. But see, that's the problem with a lot of these people. They come in and let's just be clear, they use our people. They use our people's look. The public persona, the hype, all of that. This isn't about going into business with people because they're good business people or because, they're trying to work with. No, this is about the way things look. Am I wrong?
No, no, they're just, you know, see, what it is it's the same thing with the was it Barclays? Um,
In Brooklyn, yeah.
yeah, they
That was a
use
disaster
certain people to
for the community.
pretty much in the 21st century, you have a predominantly, let's say, black area. I'm just going to speak for LA because there's really no more predominantly black neighborhoods in LA anymore. I mean, maybe it was View Park and Baldwin Hills, but that's no longer the case. But areas prior, if they wanted to pretty much gentrify a neighborhood, they would run a freeway through it. In eminent domain, you would snatch up certain properties and just run a freeway through it. They pretty much did that all throughout LA. The 105 freeway was like the latest example, but even before that, there's freeways anywhere you go, anywhere in the United States for the most part. Run a freeway through it, you know, break up the neighborhood in that way. Today, now they're just gonna have these rappers come in and say, yeah, 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 I want to bring economic prosperity to my neighborhood. So we want to, put a park here, put a stadium here, put a casino here. That's just all game. It's part of a grip. They're gonna look at areas that are predominantly black or ethnic and just try to buy out. That's what I see. So this whole thing here with this casino, well, it was primarily going to be in the Broadway district, and Jay Z himself said, "Yeah, we want to bring $250 million in revenue to your. It's going to complement the Broadway area, the Broadway portion of Manhattan, and it's going to bring this amount of money, and it's going to do this, and it's going to, basically complement." But they said, no, no, it's not going to complement the area. It's going to bring more congestion. It's going to bring more crime. It's going to bring more traffic. It's going to be a nightmare. And
It's going to
yeah,
bring everything that people don't really want in their neighborhood. Not only that, it's going to bring grand distraction to the theater district. Like prime time distraction is what it's going to bring.
hmm
Welcome, Miss Helena. Like seriously, a casino in the middle of an arts district. Like it was a bad look if you ask me from the very beginning. It definitely didn't have anything to do with bettering the community. And not only that, it's shitty. It's just a shitty, shitty, shitty thing.
yeah,
It really is. It always was. And it still is. And when you look at all of the calamity that has been like brought to bear with all of it, it's just really unfortunate. It was an
yeah,
unfortunate thing. It was, and it was not, that's why that day I was sitting there listening to the breakfast people talking about, oh yeah, he's bringing a casino and it's going to be great for the community, and it's going to be great for the community. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, really? It's going to be great for the community? Well, guess what? Guess who didn't think so? The
Morgan,
community.
Morgan Freeman, aka God said me.
Don't say that. That's so blasphemous.
It's a joke.
Please
It's a
don't say
joke.
that.
Well,
But
hell, they had George Burns playing God at one point. Remember?
yeah, yeah, he played God and the devil.
You're right.
Maybe Marlon Wayans would get away with this new movie of his if he was doing both like George Burns did.
Yeah.
He just said,
I
forget
might
the
be able
God
to.
part. I'm just doing the devil.
I might be able to get a copy. You think um watch party on the Patreons that might do that? What do you think? That might, because that movie him. That's a side note. if anyone's interested in checking out that movie, him, put a one because I think it ties into this celebrity worship, the sports. What would you do to, you know, be this big sports whatever? And I think it's well, it's a Jordan Peele movie, so you already know it's gonna be crazy as all hell. And yeah, I mean, I want to check it out, but I just I'm already anticipating it's gonna be something like the Get Out, just almost like selling your soul, Illuminati type of deal, because it's a Jordan Peele film. But anyway, that tying in that's what it looks like with this situation here. My guy Jay Z pretty much ain't got much left with the cultural cachet. That's what I'll say. I think a lot of people are already hip to his grip, and I think a lot of people just like they're done. It is what it is. There's supposed to be this internal fighting within Rock Nation. We'll see how that plays out. But what right
There's
now
a lot of stuff they're
the
saying about what's
rejection,
going on.
the rejection of this casino license for it leads Rock Nation and its partners to reconsider their strategy, I guess. So they said there's competition for three new casino licenses in New York. It's still going to go on. I was like, oh, so you know, are they going to go somewhere else, or is it another stake at another place? I don't know, but I think as far as what it is for him, for Jay Z, I think it's pretty much a wrap. It's like he still has the sports, he still has a lot of other things going
I
on with
mean,
Rock
do they
Nation, but
do they
Live
still have
Nation,
sports
is
considering?
kinda,
I
kinda. I
mean,
think Live Nation's gonna be done with them. That's just me. That's what I think.
under exactly, Michael. I still don't understand a billionaire that has a mortgage.
Well, Dame Dash says some correct stuff. It's like if you're a billionaire, why would you need to get a loan?
You should just have a line of credit.
Here you
Period.
go. But when
Really?
it comes to real producers, if you produce, you can get that money. Like if you're like a producer can get liquid money.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think, and like I don't like what's going on with the whole Dame Dash thing because now people are like ragging on Dame Dash and they're talking crazy about him ever since he did the Breakfast Club interview. And let's be straight, just to put it out there on Front Street, when we were talking about that over on Sat in the West, didn't I say that every time Jay Z's either about to do something big or something looks like it might not be going the way they want it to go, all of a sudden the media starts attacking Dame Dash?
Yeah, yep, you did. And here we are, very next day, or no,
Like,
where we
and
at?
I'm sitting here
Yeah, very
like,
next day.
I literally just said that just the other day on Sat in the West. And then I started paying attention to everything because the Breakfast Club interview and the Art of Dialogue interview, they were all, of course, pre recorded. That wasn't live. And then out of nowhere comes this, oh, 5/17, that's my birthday. Hey, that's my birthday. But and welcome to everybody that's here. Please don't forget to hit the like. We could use about 150 more likes, maybe, yeah, something like that. Um, but it's wild because you like we watched that and everyone was going Google Gaga and going crazy about the interview. And then the next thing you know, Revolt made a statement pretty much totally just dissing Dame. And I'm like, man, that came out like almost on cue, right?
Hmm.
Like everybody was talking about how Dame Dash ran down on the Breakfast Club and how he ran down on Charlemagne the Fraud and just all of that stuff going on. And then boom, next thing you know, Revolt releases something that kind of like backtracked on what Dame Dash was saying. Now this
Hmm.
is the thing. Has anyone now they made that statement, but did they show a company manifest? Did they show anything like to back it up that he was not telling the truth about his chairman position at Revolt?
I guess no. The one of the what was it? The CEO who was that made that comment. I think it's like if it comes from the head, it's like
Which
that's good enough.
CEO? Cameron, because wasn't he a CEO over there?
He was the CEO for like a day. Um, no, yeah, the real CEO, and then Cameron, of course. Before we, even get into that, Cameron, of course, went on to revolt. Uh, something conversation with Flea. Is that the guy? I don't know who this mother is, but yeah, he went on over there and was taking off, saying all kind of, things about Dame Dash and all
Which is
that.
wild because Damon's looked out for Cam for so long. But I guess when it's not cool, when somebody's not cool anymore, the cool thing is to start dissing them, right?
Right.
It's wild. There's a lot of stuff
No,
going on. There's a lot of
but yeah,
stuff.
the CEO, the real CEO,
Mhm.
Mr. Shane, he denied Dame Dash's claim, and I just
Mm.
find that very interesting. Like, yeah, he just denied it straight up. Said, nope, that's not going on. So why would Dame say something like that when that's not the case? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out real soon. But the
Well, this is the
CEO said
thing.
he's not the chairman of our company.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. What I will say is I don't know why he would want that company. That company is number one, they're never going to be able to wash off their attachment to the diddler. They're never going to be able to do that. Most of the people over there are attached to the diddler, or it's something that the diddler brought over there. Like it's forever going to be funky over there. And I don't think anybody's ever going to really be able to undiddy.
Well, the I thought the real owner was like a an Indian lady or something, right? But
I
was
mean,
it
it
what was
is,
it?
but just like for this casino,
But no, they say revolt. The employees collectively hold majority ownership. They collectively own the ownership stake after Diddy sold his shares after the situation with Cassie.
so basically, he sold all of his shares to all of the people that he brought there to work. So once he got finished with all of this and he was ready to start
Move on.
performing in Times Square, they could just sell it right back to him.
Yeah, we'll see how that play out.
I mean, that's pretty much what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean but but again, very interesting comment, very interesting claim, and for it to not be true, yeah, I'm like, what's going on? But yeah, like you said, you said it. You said every time there's something that's about to drop regarding Jay, Dame comes out and
And boom, they got to humiliate him.
yeah, you stated that.
Right on cue. And I don't think it worked out the way they were expecting it to. I think they thought that Dame was going to get humiliated and they were going to get this bid and they were going to be the big bad top dog shit whatever. And God said no.
So his claims about 50 and what he said about the power like, yeah, it got me questioning a few things. Not saying not taking away anything, but
I think that was the point, though. I think the point of them making that statement was to make it possible for everyone to question everything else he had to say.
there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Because all it takes is one thing. I mean, for crying out loud, you and I have been working together now for almost a year and a half. And even when I'm telling the truth, all it takes is one person that seems to be credible to say something in the opposite or something different. And then people are questioning what I'm saying. I mean, like that's the crazy thing about communication. For months, people were saying, "Oh, Jag did Pierce Morgan, and they sued, and she was silenced." There was no sue. There wasn't even a cease and desist. There was a phone call made. People chose to do what they chose to do, and it's wild because looking back now, it's been almost a year since we did the Pierce Morgan interview. You can kind of see a lineup.
Well, that's kind of where I'm headed in my next little micro doc. I already got it all lined up, and I'm gonna display it. But you know, ever since that Pierce Morgan interview, that's pretty much it. That's all been there. It's just, you know, Sean Atwood and his camp, and then what happened with that, and who he platformed, and I had a conversation with his people, and yeah, I'm gonna display all that 'cause I think people are not really seeing the bigger picture. They just see the stuff that was out there, and these people be planning stuff, man, for months out. I think as soon as October hit, when you were on Piers, they already had what was going to come out on the other end in 6 months, which was when Ariel Mitchell did what she did. And again, we ain't gonna mention her name. I don't want you saying nothing about her. Um, and what transpired after that. But between that, I think people need to pay attention to what was going on in between those times and how that lineup was just so, you know, executed not well, poorly. It was executed poorly, very poorly.
But they came up with a plan.
Yeah, they executed the
From the
plan.
second that Diddy got arrested and went into custody, I believe they started making a plan.
They did.
From
They
the
had to.
second that, yeah, and from the second that I went on to Pierce Morgan, I believe there was an agenda that was set in play.
Yeah,
You want to know
I
the one
honestly.
thing that trips me out? How short people's memories are.
Well, let's run it back real quick. It's funny that I'll say hit dog holler because you said they were a fist and you wasn't lying. And the funny thing is the Ashley Parham situation was kind of out there, and now that we're hearing behind the scenes that maybe somebody was involved too. They were there. They were the ones who were really there, but they tried to throw you in there like you were there. Um, yeah,
It's super interesting. It's really interesting how all of that works. But what I find funny is while everyone's busy trying to line me up, while everyone's busy trying to make me a scumbag, they do all of this, just all of these nefarious things. They say all of these crazy things, and I'm still here, and their plans keep falling to shit. You know, when I think about when this picture was taken, now this was right before Diddy's trial was about to come to the end. I bet it was. I bet Don Lemon on Pierce Morgan was a hot wreck of a mess. I bet it was. Don Lemon just tried to go
Um,
live in Times Square all around New York and Manhattan and what have you and so
somebody
on and so
somebody tried
forth.
to bang on him.
No, no, the guy real when the guy figured out who he was like, you the
Yeah, he
liar.
banged on him.
You
Yeah, he
the liar.
banged. I just said he banged on him. Yeah,
I'm
he freaking
like,
banged on him.
are you kidding me? And once upon a time I used to like Don Lemon. But you know what though? Don Lemon, I said it, and I said it about all of these Illuminati people. The second that they come out, that's it. That's it. His
Yeah,
career did so much better when he was still in the closet. His career was doing so great when he was in the closet. And then he came out and then he announced he's going to marry his beautiful little white man. And then the next thing you know,
yeah, he's a running joke.
Cuomo stabbed him in the back, left him for
Yeah,
dead. And
he's
then
a
he
running
got
joke.
fired. Like he's like the little Nas X of journalism now.
Damn. Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hold up, you the liar from CNN. Yeah, yeah. Like,
Well, that's why it's important to stand on business and to stand on integrity because as a journalist, and can't nobody, even though I guess I would be considered friends because um, I was always looking at the media side eye, and when I decided to do what I did, I was like, y'all all on some bullshit, and you just got to stand on your business. For somebody to run up on Don Lemon and be like, "You the liar," it's like, yo, wait, what? What did he lie about? Like, that's what that would have been my question. Like, what did I lie about? But obviously, you know, there's a bunch of stuff where it's not integrous. He's not standing on what it is. So someone can just come out and
man,
say that about him.
I am. I'm done with all of it. Like after seeing the Senate hearing with old Cash.
Oh yeah. See everybody. See the thing is when everybody realizes that we've just been everybody been lied to. I want to know what's going to happen. I really want to know what's going to happen. Like I said, if
This
this
cash
3 eye atlas,
business is no bueno.
well,
This cash business is getting as fishy
the
as Cash App.
the cast, we'll just see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out. Everybody's
You
getting
know,
their
it's
car count.
no, it's just wild right now. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Um,
I was gonna
yeah,
mention
I
something
believe
about
if I am correct, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I do believe that Don Lemon's husband is a white man.
yeah, yeah, he's white.
Um, I think they got little dogs. Very, very upwardly New York gays. Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but
What?
maybe because I was just saying how everybody, damn it, hold on, how everybody's cards are getting pulled.
Oh, everybody's car's getting pulled. You want to know what? There's all kinds of rest in peace, potentially. Rest in peace. Um,
Well, I guess right on time. Look at that.
to Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, don't say it like he's unalive. Like he got $50 million. He's gonna go chill.
I mean, he still got
You
his
got
club.
people.
He has a club in
You see how
Vegas. Jimmy
you see
Kimmel
how
is
you see
gonna
how
be just fine.
no you see how you somebody's like what? No, yeah. He's not. You know.
No, he's still very much alive and with us in the land of the living.
Yeah, he
Um,
lost his job.
but I mean, they haven't officially canceled the show, but it has been suspended indefinitely. And when they say indefinitely, that usually means forever
I feel
until they
bad for his
figure out.
sidekick. His sidekick ain't gonna have
Oh, you
no
talking
no
about
yeah.
Guillermo?
Guillermo.
Guillermo gonna get a Netflix special. Watch. Jimmy gonna hook him up. Guillermo gonna get a Netflix special. Why did they sit Jimmy Kimmel down? They sit Jimmy Kimmel down because Jimmy Kimmel made what was in his opinion uh, a statement regarding what was happening with Charlie Kirk and MAGA and you know,
He basically said what he said
it
exactly was
doesn't matter. Let's not repeat it.
no
It's
it
not
ain't
even
nothing
worth repeat.
crazy. No, but it wasn't nothing crazy. He basically was just saying something about a bitterly divided nation where the rest of the country, like the rest of the country, we're trying to wrap our heads around the situation about, and, uh, he's seen a lot of extraordinary, vile responses from both sides of the political spectrum.
He
Some people
said
are
how he
cheering.
felt and
Yeah,
apparently
it was
people
in a
didn't
it
agree
was
with
in a
him.
monologue. Yeah, it was in a monologue, and he basically, I mean, to me,
People
he
didn't agree
said
with him.
he just said what he said, and it's like he can't
And
say
they
that. That's
changed
crazy.
his life just like they changed Aunt Jemima to Pearl Milling House.
Yeah, he can't say that all of a sudden. That's crazy. I don't agree with that. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, they were over here doing the Trayvon Martin challenge, and
Look, let's
George Zimmerman literally signed somebody's Skittles packet.
that whole
But but
situation, there's
but
a lot of
but
situations that aren't right now. I just personally me um yeah,
and what I got on the side is
America's fucked up right now. America's fucked up right now. That's what I see.
but listen, what I have right there on the side, because it's all in relation, because
Mm.
you pulled out the Jimmy Kimmel situation, and what was I trying? I was trying to pull up this damn article. God, it went away. That's crazy. But that was from Ackman. I think we were talking about the situation with Ackman and Candace, right?
Yeah.
So he pulled Candace's card, and that's the text message. He didn't want to show the private text message, but he went ahead and did it because everybody's being exposed. That's what this year is about. Exposure.
Well, see, this is the
Exposure.
thing. This is the thing. When the reports initially first came out about the young man who's been charged with unaliving Charlie Kirk, um, they said he was from a MAGA family. That was said on the
Yeah,
news.
they did.
His grandmother did a whole live and said that nobody in their family even knew a Democrat. That's what his grandmother said. His family also donated to MAGA. Um, so it was automatically looped in from what the family said. Now they come to find out that his views had changed.
Hmm.
And, you know, I mean, honey, listen to me. The whole country is radicalized. Let's be very clear. It's not just this kid. There's a lot of radical stuff going on with a lot of things. You want to know what I think is radical? I think this guy right here is kind of radical. I didn't mean to mute myself. I didn't even realize I was muted. This kid, he's gotten pretty radical too. Pretty radical. But anyway, where were we?
I mean, you sitting over there playing that or showing that, but whatever you were saying because you were muted, I didn't know where you was going with it.
No, what I said was is the whole country is radical. This whole country has gotten pretty radical. I think who is this kid? Well, he is a new artist. I guess that's what you would call him. They're saying he's a singer. Um,
Yeah, they say he's a singer. I ain't heard him sing.
he's a content creator who started dibbling and dabbling in music so he could make his own original music and not have to worry about getting hit with copyright strikes for using other people's music. And apparently he had a knack for it. Um, put some hits together, I guess, or what kids are calling hits these days, and was recently signed to, I believe, Universal. Now it's interesting because he had a Tesla, and somewhere along the way, his Tesla got abandoned. While he was on tour, and when they found it, there was a decomposed human corpse in it. And this is the person that they found inside. She was so badly decomposed that they had to, you know.
And this is him. There's a photo with him and the person, and it looked like he groomed. She was well
G Room.
14.
G Room.
I'm sorry, G room. Yeah, my bad. Bride and groom. That's what I meant to say. Bride and groom, but G room. Um, she was 14, 15, and they say he's cooperating. Um, but it's like, dude, what's up? You had a shush tattoo on your finger, just like she had. So is that code? Is that
On their
the
middle
digital
finger.
code? Right.
On the middle finger.
And then we found text messages, or they found deleted, what is it, Discord messages about. You see what it says here? Um, they said, does he have a girlfriend? They said, yeah, her name is Celeste. Yeah,
See, this was
these are
before he started getting deeper into his tattoos because he now has a tattoo right in between his eyes. That's where he started.
yeah. This is
20 years
disgusting.
old. What's a 20-year-old boy doing having any kind of close contact or of any kind of intimate nature with a 15-year-old girl?
This is ridiculous. This is disgusting. This guy needs to be.
See, I
Yeah,
see that's kind of radical.
yeah. I don't like this story. I don't like when I heard it last week, and I said, wait, what? And there was another uh
His song came
unalive.
out September 7th. Romantic Hama what? Which was also the birthday of the 15-year-old. Verse 3. What?
Oh, hell no. Really? Yeah. I'm yeah, he gonna have to get slapped up. That's what's gonna have to happen. Or boy's gonna get beat gonna have to get beat up.
You know, what's really sad is there was a content creator that was sitting there not long ago talking about how, some girls is about this life. They're not victims. I wonder if he would
Well
say
the
that
song
about this girl.
well the song that they're referring
Because
to, it
this
came out
girl is the
3 years.
same age as the girl Nova that he was
Well,
talking about when he said that. By the way,
side note,
guys, we could use another
side
250 likes.
okay,
Come on, stop being cheap.
I'll be quiet.
What you said?
Yeah, I was trying to make a point, make a statement. I said the song that the person was referring to came out 3 years ago. It didn't come out right away. So just FYI, that's all, just to give
Oh,
context.
okay. I was about to say, because that's just some poor taste. But it still doesn't change the fact that it's supposed to allegedly around this girl's birthday. And my thing is, who is singing about taking people's lives and calling it a love song?
No, he looks like it looks like a reenactment of Stan, the video. Um, no, he's a
Mm,
weirdo. I hate to say it. The guy's a weirdo. Yeah.
running around with little girls.
Well, yeah, he's like I said, he's a weirdo because he's 20, she's 15.
But
I told him,
didn't they meet when she was like 13 years old?
well, still, he was 18. I
Yeah, I
was,
know. She was of age
I,
and she was in
I,
junior high.
I told the story when I was 19 and somebody tried to hook me up with a 16-year-old. I said, if you don't get this baby out of my way. Even then, we had some type of, like I said, I was 19. I just turned 19. This girl probably was 16. I was like, no, like we just don't do that. I'm sorry, at least in the black community, I'll say it like that.
I wish
Where,
that were true in all black communities because where
well,
I
no,
grew
you are.
up, it was very
Well,
common. It was
I'm talking
very
about
common.
I'm talking about upright, upstanding black people. I've seen situations where, yeah, when I was in high school,
I know
25-year-old
plenty of
dude rolling up.
upstanding black communities where it was okay, where it was passed along. And I think that's the thing that people really don't understand, how common these behaviors are and how accepted they are widely everywhere.
It's really not. I'm gonna put my foot down and say it's not,
Okay.
at least in
Well
my
then
community.
I
Because
guess the whole East Coast. Then I guess the whole East
I
Coast.
let me say what I gotta say, because what I'm saying is I've seen it where 17, 16-year-old girls were going out with dudes that are like 25 when I was in high school. And me coming up seeing that, I was like, that's disgusting. That ain't cool. I know more people that thought like me and was like, nah, that ain't cool. So that's why I said, let me say from what I seen, and I'm just talking about my perspective. And I'll say overall in our community, it's not acceptable. But you do have some weirdos, just like you got weirdos who do all types of weird stuff.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I know more men who were over the age of 21 who slept with girls under the age of 16
Yeah.
regularly.
And I was brought up in a community where that was not cool. Like I said, I was 19.
And I
The
knew plenty
girl
of
just
mamas.
I just turned 19. The girl was 16, probably close to 17, and I was
And
still like, nope.
and
My
that's what
mama,
makes you an
my
upstanding
mama,
gentleman.
my mama would have been like, boy, I'll whoop your ass. That's the community I came from. As far as these other people, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But back to what this guy, even if he was 18 and she was, 30 or 15, even nah, that's not acceptable.
18 and
That's not
15
acceptable.
is not acceptable. It doesn't even live up to the Romeo and Juliet statute. And the Romeo and Juliet statute is 3 years. So if a guy is 19 and a girl is 16, it's not technically considered stat great by the Romeo and Juliet standard. But that all depends on jurisdiction, whatever the case may be. He
Here we
was,
go. That all depends on jurisdiction. Look, check this out. What they're going to try to do is normalize these types of relationships. I hope you know that. That's why I was saying what I was saying, because they're just trying to normalize if someone's 10 years younger. That I think that's on the books. If it's like you're 10 years younger, you can't be charged with, like they're just trying to come up with all kind of weird policy to
well,
protect.
understand this, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I, if you go back 100 years, 40-year-old men were betting, impregnating, and marrying 13-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls. Like, this isn't new. This has been going on forever. It was outlawed, and it's looking like people want to take it back.
Well,
It's,
the
it's
way I
looking like
look at
people
it,
want to walk this back.
it's like this. Just like they had child labor laws, right? Just like they had slavery, right?
Hmm.
Um, some things are just not morally right, and it just needs to stay in that area. It's not morally right. They're trying to walk or bring things back. People need to, you know, step forward. Nope, that ain't cool. This ain't cool. Kids
See, this
shouldn't
is
be
the
working
thing.
40-hour weeks. Underage girls shouldn't be, you know, subjected to being with grown men.
So what's up with these messages? Because we're gonna look into this a little bit more. But the thing that I'm trying
Yeah,
to understand is how are they going to explain his relationship with her? Yeah, Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis. Yes. I mean, Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin, and he was a grown man in his 20s. And what, Myra, I believe she was 12 and a half, going on 13. I think she was 14 when she had their first child. I mean, Priscilla Presley said that Elvis waited um, to be with her. I don't know who believes it, but that's what she said. Jimmy Page as well. They all dated little girls. They all dated 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, all of them. So I don't, yeah, hmm, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. That's what they were doing. And that's what was allowed. If you look at even Charles Manson, what was her name? Sharon Tate. She was in her teens. She was a teenage girl and she was already starring in movies and moving about like an adult.
Well, even if you notice back then, because that was the 60s, 70s, right? Um,
Roman
the way
Polanski, yeah.
society, the way society was set up, and like someone said it in the chat, the internet wasn't around back then, but the way society was, it was kind of like that was accepted to where for girls about 14, 15, because you got to look at how society was then. Most people maybe got out of high school, didn't go to college. As soon as they got out of high school, they got a real job and they just worked. And that's
Or they
just
got
how it
married.
was. Right. Well,
Girls
same,
got
yeah, same
married.
thing. Family, they start the family at 18, 19, 20. It was different. So these people who were running these elite circles in these societies, that was cool for them. So they would get 14, yeah, 14, 15, 16, and just do what they do. And but these women are not, for the most part, and emotionally mature enough. It's a lot. It's a lot. But back then it
No,
was a little bit different, I think, because people,
nobody cared about a woman's emotions back then. They cared about her ability to bear children and to please and to keep house. Nobody cared about a woman's emotions. You know, that's just that's just what it was. That's what it was. It's funny. Look at how far we've come and look at how fast people are trying to run back. Guys, don't forget to keep hitting that like. So it, we got him in pictures with this girl. We got him texting this girl. What is this on Discord?
yeah, these are Discord messages. But
They share a
that
tattoo.
was someone messaging and saying that that's his girlfriend's name. And then when they released the name today, I think the mother was in contact, and they didn't want to release the young lady's name until the mother was contacted. And then all of a sudden, the floodgates. Everybody's he. I think he know he's guilty. He stopped one of his shows. I think he has a show in San Francisco tonight or tomorrow. And he has one at the Greek Theater in L.A. He's supposedly cooperating with the ones. I think they gonna bring him in. He's got it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
No, this is
oh
Scheduled to move to Europe beginning in October 25th. You want to know what's sad?
That ain't
October is right around the corner. October is
that
right
ain't
around the corner. He was about to be out of the country.
that
He was
car
about to
that
be out
Tesla
of the country. And
that
guess what?
Tesla was,
Oh,
maybe they setting them up. I don't know because it's like why would the Tesla be parked on the street if he had people he could have easily just kept the Tesla on a property like I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird, but it's sad. I feel bad for the lady, the mother, the girl, because when they were like they
see, I
described the
got a
body.
theory on that.
What's your theory?
I don't know if they've actually figured out TOD, time of death, yet. Um, like they said, if I remember the reports correctly, she had been dismembered.
Yeah,
She was
and
dismembered
that's what I was going to say when I first heard it.
and
They
wrapped in
said
a plastic bag.
when they said it had to been about 71 pounds. I said that's not a grown woman.
71 pounds. She weighed 71
71
pounds.
pounds. That's a baby.
Um, Understand this. And she was so badly decomposed that it took them this long to figure out who she is. She was found, what, like a couple weeks ago? Her,
Uh,
re- her
yeah, I think
remains were
so.
found in their car. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, and they said it was just out there on the street. They had towed the car.
So this is the
People were
thing.
walking by. People were walking by, and it smelled like yeah. Like that's why I was like it's weird.
No, but this is the thing. He had a tour scheduled.
I know.
And what I would not be surprised is if her demise happened before he went out on tour and there it was just decided to dismember her, put her in a bag, and then give the keys to somebody else and pay them to hold on to the car and get rid of it to give him time to get away. Allegedly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this is real. I'm not saying this is true.
Well, I think let's
But
not
I
speculate.
would not be surprised. This is the speculation. That's it. I'm saying allegedly. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. I'm saying if you pass the car off to somebody to hold it for a while to give him a chance to be on tour and then tell them to get rid of it at a later date, maybe somebody just couldn't stomach it. Maybe somebody just decided, I don't want anything to do with this, and then just abandoned the car.
Yeah, could be. It
Because you
really
got to
is.
be pretty hardcore to be okay with moving the remains of a dismembered teenage girl around. You got to be pretty hardcore for that. But the simple fact, see, I wouldn't be thinking this way if there wasn't a shared tattoo, if there wasn't a picture with this girl, if he wasn't 18 and she was 13 when they first got involved, I wouldn't be thinking this way. That a shish tattoo they
That's
shared.
G-Room and
Sick.
G-Room.
That's sick.
It's bride and groom.
And now she's gone. And she was missing for a year. I wonder how long she had been in his company
Yeah,
before her
she mentioned
demise.
2024. I should have pulled. I was trying to get
Because
the
she's been
ATV.
missing for a year.
Yeah,
So where was she?
with him,
But
likely.
see, if he's an artist and he's got money, yeah, she was reported missing by her family, missing for a year since 2024. Oh, I hope to God not, Miss Helena. I hope to God not. Maybe she OD'd. Maybe they had a fight. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see what the coroner says about the full findings of what happened to her. But for him to go out on tour and his little best kept secret be found decomposed, badly decomposed, in his car that was left abandoned. If I had to bet, or if I was asked to guess, something happened to her right before he went on tour. I'm not saying he's the one that separated her and put her in that bag, but he might ask somebody to hold on to that car for a while and give him a chance to get on tour so he wouldn't be speculated in her demise and then get rid of the car. It's a hell of a head start. And he had a European leg. There's no extradition from France. He had a tour date in France. He could have parked his ass right there in France and said, I'm moving here. I'm about to go into the studio, record my next album. I got an apartment here. This is where I live now. And the United States would not have been able to make him come back. What the hell is wrong with these kids, man? And meanwhile, you got content creators sitting here online having a beef war, running up the numbers for content, arguing about the content being made about another 15-year-old girl who allegedly was one of the victims who was being teleported around in the Hoover Rico. And ain't nobody.
Yeah, if nobody's talking about arresting Adam 16 or Mark from Soft White Underbelly. Oh, Mark from Soft White Underbelly has gone the Vlad route. He had a blind, uh, I'll say, shooker, right? Or
A,
prosti, right?
a
He had a
he had a
blind
blind
ex
one.
worker. He had an interview with a blind ex worker talking about how she and I didn't see the interview, y'all. I just saw an excerpt of it, and I said, "This guy is ridiculous. This guy is sick." I told y'all what the streets say about him, but he had the blind escort. Let's just say that.
8 to 80, blind, crippling,
Talking
crazy.
about, literally talking about how she got gypped because somebody gave her a $5 bill. Like, it's sad. It's freaking sad. That's why I say he's going like the Vlad route. Then he had another um person who was ex working. She had to pay her mom's debt. I think she was like said she was like 10 or 11 years old, and somebody made her pay her mom's debt by going out on Fig, and she like it's. I said, okay, this guy is a piece of work. He's literally it's turning into Vlad. It's no, y'all. Look, I'm not lying. This guy, like, if no one's calling to have this guy investigated, because that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. To be honest, it's sad. It's sick. Like I said, the streets say this guy is possibly undercover,
What
or
I
the streets
can't
also say he's
stand
tricked.
What I can't stand about all of this is that content creators think that beefing back and forth with each other and using this for a content war to create engagement and to run the numbers up so they can make money, and nobody's doing anything to help this little girl. By the way, what is this victim, David's victim? What is her name? So, because someone said,
Celeste,
rest in
yeah,
peace, little girl.
Celeste, Rivera, I believe. Yeah,
Celeste Rivera.
hmm I believe that's it. Yeah,
What happens if Nova ends up like her?
right, right.
The simple fact that there's somebody that runs around with the no jumper crew talking about, well, some little girls are just fast. Some little girls they want to be in the lifestyle, and I'm
He need his ass whooped. And yeah,
and
I
then
said
said
it.
I'm a girl dad, basically saying that
He's
he
a
is the
weirdo
father of a
of
girl,
girls. He's
but
a weirdo.
you think this little girl Nova. Meanwhile, they wanted to discuss whether or not she had been she had been teleported or moved around, as we would say, traffic
Well,
stuck
the
in
the street
traffic. If she had
the
been
street
stuck in
is saying,
traffic in a traffic jam, that's what
well,
we'll
listen,
call it. Had
the
she been
streets are.
traffic jammed? And rather than trying to get that little girl some help, they want to all sit and go back and forth with each other and create engagement and go back and forth, and no jumper going after this one, going after that one, going after her, going after him, going after her, going after him. And apparently 15-year-old little girls are losing their lives in these streets.
What I was trying to say, but I don't know if you even heard me. I was basically saying the streets are saying some blood members is saying that the little girl belongs to the streets. It's on Spider Loaf's channel.
She
Came out
belongs
today.
to the streets, huh?
They all need their ass whooped. How about that?
She
That's
belongs to
that,
God.
that's what happened. They all need their ass whooped.
Traumatized, monetized. We're gonna do a little more checking into this though, into Celeste's story. And y'all, let's keep Nova in our prayers. And I don't know, I might have to, I I might need to make some phone calls again, cause
Oh, what was the last name I said for the girls? Celeste Hernandez, right? That's what I said.
I thought you said Rivera
No, it's Hernandez. I
Hernandez,
think her, yeah,
Celeste
you know, her
Hernandez.
mom. I was looking up her mom. It was her mom's not a Hernandez. I'm not gonna say that. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, it's Hernandez. So that's her name.
But for to creators to be going back and forth, and now we hear this news about this girl Hernandez. Her last name is Hernandez.
Yeah, just a lot. See, the thing is this is what I'm saying. A lot of these dudes need their ass whooped. Let's just say it like that. See, we started out with talking about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Dudes in certain families or certain communities, you know, making things acceptable. Things like this and girls. Nah, this is not acceptable at all. I'm not the one to be on some, oh yeah, they fast, so they nah. And if you
Children
have
aren't
that type of
fast.
thinking, you need your ass
Adults
whooped.
are slow to care. Children
If
aren't
you had that,
fast.
if you
Adults
had
are
that
slow
mindset,
to care.
if you had that mindset, you need your ass whooped. That's what I'll say. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and Louisiana just passed a law that allows anyone uh, convicted of the you know child, Uncle Lester,
Hmm.
they will be castrated, physically castrated. I think that should just they should start really here in California with that. I think that would, yeah.
You know how much money the state would lose, allegedly?
Why would they lose money?
Because allegedly California makes a lot of money off of children being harmed. Allegedly.
Well, I'm going to look into this law that's going on in Louisiana. I think we need to put it on the books here. It needs to be put on the books everywhere, especially since people don't want to come out and talk about this Epstein stuff like how it is. We just need to just say, all right, this is what we're going to do.
I'm telling
And we
you, it
ain't going
was
to worry
really
about
weird looking at that hearing with Cash and them asking him about the Epstein files and just watching him squirm out of answering. And it's crazy because he was literally obsessed with the Epstein case. Like, part of the reason why everyone was happy that he got appointed was because they believed that there was no way he wasn't going to get to the bottom of it. Like, he was, that's a hurt piece, man. A lot of people were believing in him. A lot of people. Like, him being appointed, for them to, and for me, when I first heard about it, I'm like, well, maybe this isn't such a bad idea, because people in politics might be biased as to get us the real findings, but to have someone who's from the private sector to be put in this position, who had great public interest in making sure that we got to the bottom of it, and then he's just like, you're obsessed with this, so you used to be. Like, yeah. It just I've never ceased eh, to be amazed. But what I will say is, whether it's the industry, whether it's politics, you infuse that power and people just get corrupted, because it speaks to nothing else but. It speaks to nothing else but. I really thought that reaching outside of normal political circles and bringing someone who was supposed to be a true believer and Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's just like spitting in Virginia Guthrie's face. She's probably turning over her grave right now. But this is just kind of like the world we're living in. Please don't forget to hit the like. Please. And I try not to say anything because I try to believe. I really do. I try to believe. And I try to rally support when it looks like people are gonna move in the right direction. But yeah, for me at this point in time, it's like I'm my faith is in God. Like I just have to have faith in God. We have to stay in prayer. We got to stop thinking that we got to stay in heavy prayer. I mean, hey, God said no today. Lord knows I prayed for it. Speaking of, because I know we don't need to stay here too long until we get more facts and more details. Do we have some? We got some update, don't we?
Yeah,
Maybe we should get to that before we wrap up. And we could use another 75 likes to get to at least that 500 mark. That would be great. And if we can do more, let's do more. Please don't forget to like on your way in or out. We appreciate it. It's that way of letting people know that we're here. You know, we are heavily suppressed. A lot of people don't know we're even here. It's so funny when I still go through my comments and I see people say, Jag, I didn't even know you had a channel.
yeah, we gotta we gotta flip that up or whatever. Yeah, they had some progression with the whole thing with the Maury Hatley and Hatley's the cases. So it looks like the Desiree Perez versus Javon Hatley. Um, I guess there was an opposition to correct motion to dismiss amended complaint. So Javon Hadley filed a reply
Mm.
to consolidate the plaintiff response in opposition to his motion to dismiss amended complaint in his in his case. So he basically said the plaintiff made a baseless accusation that Javon filed his dismissal motion as an effort to intimidate and harass plaintiffs and witnesses by clearly irrelevant and factual incorrect information. The claim is unfounded. Devon relied on indisputable public records and facts directly from the amended complaint,
Hmm.
as the court circuit may take judicial notice of such records at the motion to dismiss stage. Um, I mean,
So
in overall, go ahead.
I was going to say, could you break that down for us just a little simpler?
I mean, I'm just reading it directly from the docket, and it says the plaintiff can't immunize their own misrepresentations by labeling contradictory evidence as irrelevant. So that's basically what they're saying.
Yeah, but
Um,
what's the evidence?
Plaintiffs claim Javon unlawfully accessed the family home, um, and the
Oh,
family's
this is
home
about the camera.
surveillance.
This is about the
Yeah,
camera, surveillance camera.
yeah. Let me see if I can pull the evidence too, because it's a
No, because
lot.
if I
It's
remember
a whole lot.
correctly, if I'm remembering it correctly, it was something that Dumore had pulled,
I believe
and
so.
they blamed Javon for it. If if my memory serves me correctly, it was the footage of her and Desiree in the bedroom with Desiree talking about Rock Nation about to go belly up, right?
Yeah. So that's what you see here. That's part of the evidence. It said the photo of the location of the what is it, hike in the blink camera system. So the hike one's at the top or hick, whatever that is, and the
Got it.
blink camera system is at the bottom. So
So
yeah, that's the room where they were. Yeah, where they had the
let's
conversation.
make sure
That's
that everybody understands. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to try to consolidate it.
go ahead.
In the heat of everything that was going on right after the lawsuit was made public, like not long after we had first started dropping the first episodes of Defending Your Freedom, the Demore Hadley story, there was a video that came out. Do you guys remember? It was Demore and it was Desiree, and they were in this room, and Desiree was explaining about what a hit Rock Nation had taken during COVID, and how she had went to she had went to Live Nation, who was Rock Nation's parent company, and asked for a loan to keep them afloat. And he was like, "Hey, I can't do it." And whoop de whoop de whoop. As we came to find out later, they had to get a bunch of PPP loans, which of course everyone knew, as long as it you stayed within the guidelines or whatever, so on and so forth, you didn't have to pay them back. So they got just a bunch of free government funding to save the company. But does everyone remember that? I don't know what's going on here in the chat. With this, the chat has been slowed down. Or, have we gotten everybody so just cool that y'all ain't here with us no more? What's going on?
They're
If
here.
you're not the if you're not gonna
They're
type in the
here.
chat, the least you could do is get us to this 500 likes, because we should have been there at least 30 minutes ago. So
No,
I think we're
they're
about
here. Yeah,
35
no,
likes
don't.
short. So you're confused about the situation. I was thrown out a few times. You were thrown out. Oh my God, this is so terrible. Okay, so anyway, there's a new court filing. This is a update on the Hadleys for Javon's case. Now, there's two different cases that are happening right now simultaneously. Javon had sued um, Desiree, correct,
Yeah,
about everything that happened, and then in turn, she countersued, correct?
yeah, yeah,
So you have that going on, and then you have Demore's suit for her, as we see it, in our opinion, allegedly. Let's protect everything and everyone. Um, Her unlawful detainment, everything that you guys have seen in the series. So
yeah.
this is the
We're
chain of
gonna
events.
go ahead.
Mhm. Okay.
No, I was gonna say we're gonna have to do like a hella update, but I got to figure out the legalities of it. But I think we can because we already got everything um with Demore out, so we don't have anything new with Demore. But there's a lot of updates. Essentially, I think what we may need to happen is just come back and really go a little deeper on this on its own because this was the reply, the attorney's reply to dismiss the case again. This is a new one, and then they're asking for sanctions
Against
too.
Javon, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I was like, I got to really go over it and break it down. And then
So
they kept bringing
basically,
up,
Desiree is trying to get Javon's lawsuit dismissed while She still has a lawsuit against him, and I believe she's suing him
Right.
for like a couple $1 million or something.
Yeah, something crazy. Yeah, they kept bringing
And
up.
they also want sanctions for his lawsuit for their legal fees. So basically, even though he was unlawfully detained, even though he was jailed, even though he lost 40 days, about 40 days of his life, arrested 3 times, once in front of his family, all for things he did not do, all for crimes he did not commit. They're saying that they're saying that that footage that Demore has said herself in a few interviews that she released and on social media
Yeah.
that she released.
Mhm.
They're blaming Javon for it so that they have a reason to come after him.
And we got other court documents where they keep bringing up malogrograms, and they're saying that the Hadleys
What's the
work.
thing with Milagro?
Let
Why are
me
they?
let me talk. Hold on.
I am. I'm just asking.
That's what I was trying to finish because that's what I was saying. They said that they kept bringing up malogrograms. They kept saying that the Hadleys are working with Tory Lane. It's just there's just a whole lot of ridiculousness. That's why I was like, I really gotta break down all the documentation because that's in there too. That's another case. Then they're also just I have that document where we talked about it last week. Was it last week when we mentioned Jessica's sister Heather?
What are you talking
Um,
about, Willis?
Jessica Caddy, and we talked about Heather.
Yeah, no, no, I
You
know
know
that
what I'm
part.
talking
I'm
about.
still, I'm still like tripping off of this Milagro business.
Well, we got that's what I'm saying. We like so this is going to be too much to just go and try to break it all down and unpack it right now. There's a lot that you still need to read. There's a lot that I got to break down. But I was saying that the Jessica Caddy situation and Heather, they
Yeah, the
they
sisters, the
in the
Wilson
document,
girls.
yeah, they admitted Jessica admitted that Heather is her sister, but she
Oh,
claimed that she said she didn't know that's what her sister was doing. And now, how believable is that?
hold on, wait a minute. So
Like, you'd have to be a
Jessica
fool to believe.
admitted that. All right, so guys, all right, I gotta break it down. Let me break it
Go
down.
ahead.
Gotta even tricked Demore into coming to that property for a landscape assessment. You been watching? Oh, thank you, Carlin. Welcome. Thank you. So, all right, we remember that's Jessica Caddy, Jessica Wilson Caddy. Now, Jessica Wilson Caddy has a sister named Heather Wilson Benson. And Heather, who lives in Arkansas, no doubt, no less, who works for the state, who also teaches courses in AI, was the one that was over on Twitter subbing Demore's name, her screen name, Blackbird, talking about Blackbird lied or something. And then she had the picture of Javon up. You remember we talked about that just the other day? And I was showing you how she was subbing Demore on Twitter and how she was, you know, trying to convince people that the video, the AI video that we did the breakdown of here on this channel, she was, pushing that story and pretty much insisting that Javon is a DV guy and that Demore is a liar. Yeah. So now Miss Sig Nine is admitting that her sister, Miss AI, is her sister, but she had no idea what she was doing on social media. That's
When
what they
when
say.
when there was a shared folder or Google Drive and they deleted that, like, come on now. Right? Stop.
Mocking her username, making her handle Blackbird lied with a picture of what looks like what they made look like Javon trying to harm her
Exactly.
as her
Yeah.
avatar. Your sister's on Twitter, you're on Twitter, and you telling me you didn't know. Your sister on Instagram, you on Instagram, and you didn't know. For the slander of it all, for the slander of it all, sure enough. I mean, guys, usually we'll tag this up, we'll put the pictures up, we'll tell everybody to come, but we're not doing that at this point in time because we've noticed that it doesn't matter what video it is. If you put Demore's face on it, if you put any of the hashtags that we have attached to it, it shuts the numbers down.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do it differently. We're just gonna do a better way of it.
Which is why we're kind of sliding it in right now.
And the funny thing is there's a content. Well, I don't even call this person a content creator, but I'm gonna get down to the bottom of it because it looks like this person is. You see how they it's it's like when you do something dirty. When you know you're wrong, you try to accuse other people of doing wrong. So they
Hmm.
tried to say that the Hadleys had been working with Milagro Graham and Tory Lane.
Hmm.
I got hella proof showing that possibly there's a psychopathic YouTuber stalker who's working with um Patty and Heather because
Say
they
it
just
ain't
happen to
so.
follow these people. Yeah,
Say it
y'all
ain't
y'all
so.
y'all can figure it out.
Mm.
I
Say it
refuse
ain't
to say this.
so.
I refuse to say this quote unquote creator, content creator. It's not a content creator, it's a content moocher, leecher name. And yeah, they've been
Say it
going
ain't
back and forth
so.
with potentially going back and forth with Rock Nation and Caddy and Wilson. Yeah.
Say it ain't so. Mm-mm-mm-mm. The
So
things,
things
the
have to be disseminated differently.
things. It's funny how people always like to accuse people of doing stuff that they doing. It's called deflection. But what's worse is the simple fact that y'all have enough money to play these games in court while you're sitting there trying to drain people's pockets and running full scale, networked out troll missions to destroy people's character and to try to find a way to diffuse the explosive nature of the criminal things that you're doing. Like it's kind of insane. I wonder if y'all weren't so busy running people into court and creating fake lawsuits and lying and setting up troll farms and doing all kinds of things. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's why this happened. Maybe if you had spent more time on that, you you know, divided focus is a motherfucker. Sometimes you just need to take one obsession at a time. You know? But God said no. If he said no to this, I wonder what else he going to say no to because we're over here praying. We pray without ceasing over here. We ain't playing no games about it.
And what does the Bible say about a wise woman who builds her a house up and what a foolish woman will do?
What does it say, dear? I love it when you repeat
I don't know.
scripture.
I don't know. You tell me. I know it say something. A foolish woman tear down a whole house. You know, where a wise woman builds it up. I'm just saying how the focus, like you said, should have been on building up and not the tear down of something else.
Well, maybe maybe you'll find out what that scripture is and you'll get it right one day. What I will say is this. When you pour a bunch of negativity into ruining other people's lives, other people's dreams, other people's futures, you really shouldn't expect to have a good one yourself. See, losing this casino bid is going to hurt in more ways than one. From what I heard and from what I saw, from the outrage of the no, of the very, very, very big no, that felt like a boom today. Is that somebody had the audacity to bring up Desiree Perez's prior background. It was vote. It was a vote. It was 6 votes. Guess what it was? 2 to 4. 4 said no. 2
Water
said
too.
yes.
Yeah.
4 said no. 2 said yes. The majority said no, and 2 said yes. Hopefully, that's more than Diddy's going to get in a couple of weeks. 2 to 4. See how that worked? I guess there's some people there who didn't want someone who used to destroy communities with all kinds of pharmaceuticals and narcotic running a business in Times Square. Or maybe people just are remembering that this man built his professional portfolio and cachet up pretending to be a big time pharmaceutical dealer. Or maybe they've been so busy having their people allegedly running out, strong arming everyone else that they forgot to have them strong arm these people. I don't know, but it sounds like y'all got too much going on. Investigations here, investigations there. I'm glad that it's not Cash Patel. That's I'm glad it's the other Patel that's trying to run down on the Cash App situation. Hopefully that won't fall as flat as the Epstein list is right now. Or maybe it's all of the victims. You want to know what else I found interesting? I was listening to Murad Morelli the other day, and apparently there was another lawsuit that came out about the Carters and the Diddler, where this victim, who sounds very affected and very traumatized, is talking about all kinds of dark magic and all kinds of satanic actual rituals. Which is funny because this isn't the first time that Beyonce has been accused of using dark magic and molesting people, because that's what a drummer said about her. That's what a drummer said. And they wouldn't even granted a restraining order. Yeah. Um, and a lot of the language that was used, it was very hard to follow. You can tell that it was a very triggering thing. But when you hear stories about like how Diddy went and allegedly sacrificed a bird, a pigeon, with Jennifer Lopez right before he went into court to beat the Natanya Rubin case, when you hear about all of the very hardcore ritualistic sexual behavior that were in these videotapes, when you're listening to what's going on now with Anna Kane, you guys know who Anna Kane is, right? Anna Kane is another woman who's an alleged victim of the diddler and his former HNIC over there at the Bad Boy, Harv Pierre, and another person. And they're saying that they have a tip because this person is Caucasian, the person who abused her, essayed her when she was still a minor, either 16 or 17 years old. They put her on a plane, brought her across state lines. The girl in the D&G shirt, the girl who Lamisha Fuller pretended to be. Matter of fact, she pretended to be her for so long and for so loud and so crazy that Anna King was forced to come out of her Jane Doe status and give up her real name. And now she's in court, even though very few people are talking about that case. That's so funny. Everybody likes talking about Diddy law cases, but ain't nobody. You want to know what cracks me up? I don't understand why Armand Wiggins isn't talking about the Anna Kane case. Or how about all of the content creators that were busy running a Lamisha Fuller story when she was pretending to be Anna Kane? Why are none of them talking about Anna Kane? I mean, Sean Atwood and them over there, oh my goodness, they loved interviewing Lamisha and Adria and all of this and all of that, and whoopty whoopty whoop. And yet nobody, especially not Lionel B, who went first to break the story. We got the girl. We got the girl, the victim from the DNG. We got the girl. 5 million views, I think he racked up all of together with his shorts and everything put there. Nothing. Nothing. Nobody's saying anything about Anna Kane. But Anna Kane is in court. The actual woman. Not that weirdo who said that she got essayed by Garfield and she had to drag Diddy out of a burning building and then she jumped into the ocean when the mermaids tried to take her down. The actual woman, Anna Kane, they're demanding discovery. And I could see why they would want to push it back. Because I got a feeling what's going to come out on that. Because you got to understand Anna Kane's case. See, a lot of that stuff in there fits the RICO statute. And definitely the SE actual traffic jam statute. Definitely that. Because don't forget, the diddler got off on the RICO and the SC actual traffic jam. But see, Anna Kane said she was taken. Number one, the girl is Canadian. She was in Detroit and she was put on a plane, company plane. And the crime that happened with another employee, the top employee, the employee who ran the whole thing, along with the diddler, did her dirty at daddy's house, which is a part of they committed a crime. And it was all business wrapped all around it. See, that falls into RICO. And she was a minor who allegedly was traffic jammed across state lines. So you got that case out there, but this dark magic witchcraft case. Guess when this guess when this came out? It's funny because Murat ain't start talking about it till now. Yeah, using company cars and all of that stuff. But it's September. The lawsuit was filed in June. It was filed in June. Why is it that nobody heard about that lawsuit before now? Hmm? Why is it that nobody heard about that lawsuit before now? Because see, back in May, this is him with the Senate Majority Leader trying to smooch up to her, trying to get this bid for this casino. Hmm. And Barack Obama was there not long after that. His buddy Barack O'Rockham, Barry, he came through. He was in town right after that, all at the beginning of the Diddy trial. And then, before the Diddy verdict came out, they were literally sitting there in a meeting. And this lawsuit was filed. This dark magic witchcraft lawsuit was filed. Nobody heard nothing about it. Nothing. Forget how unbelievable it may be. Forget how crazy it may be. How many times we got to tell you these people are devil worshippers allegedly? Like how many times? But of all of the lawsuits that was creeping around, I just find it funny that that one, I don't know, maybe them people in Times Square just didn't want to have no business to do with a bunch of weirdos who do dark magic. Like, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. But man, I heard they actually brought up Desiree Perez's background as a pharmaceutical traffic jammer. Yeah, I heard that came up. You know, it sucks for the people that they went into business with to do this bid. It really sucks for them because they were hoping that these people, the Jigga Man and old Desi, I think they were really hoping that their public persona and him being married to Beyonce and all of this and all that, I think they were hoping that that star power was going to seal the deal, going to clinch it for them real tight, like butt cheeks, trying to hold back diarrhea. I think they were hoping it was going to clinch it for them. Oh, that man. Oh, that man. You don't. I can't believe you made this mistake. You done the boo, and you. I don't know how you gonna sleep at night. Oh yeah. He said everything, but God is trying to tell you something. Or you can't sleep at night and you're so wondering why. Maybe God is. God did try to tell y'all something and he didn't try. He actually told you. He said no. He said no. I hope there is no next time. Maybe the people that they were in business with, maybe they're just going to decide that it's not worth it. Maybe they're going to find better proxies with better reputations. That's the one thing. You can have all the money you want in the world. And for some people, it hey Alina, for some people it works, but it don't matter how much money you get. It doesn't wash away all of your sins. Meanwhile, they're running around putting together all kinds of coups, allegedly doing all kinds of crazy stuff in the backdrop. And they think they're going to get away. 555 on the likes. We appreciate that. Thank you. And shout out to the replay gang. Please do me a favor. Make sure y'all get us to 1K. We need everybody to hear this because I want to know. I want to know. Mm, I want to know. I want to know who else is going to talk about this. There were so many people that were so excited to tell everybody that they was about to get a casino. They was going to have a casino. Oh my God, they're going to have a casino. We're going to have a casino. Casino. Oh, there were so many people running around all over this app watching what's been happening to the Hadleys, watching what's been happening to a lot of people, watching what's been happening to me, watching and still having the audacity to cheer these people on. Hmm? Watching what's been happening to Ramir and still cheering these people on. Yep, and still no damn banjo. All this dancing, all this do si do and still no banjo. Yeah, the school where everybody is more in debt, even though they were promised they was gonna graduate without any. Ain't talking about them students no more either. Wonder why not. Maybe y'all have just lost your usefulness in this world. Meanwhile, nobody ever calls them out on any of the lies that they tell. They tell all kinds of lies. They lie and they lie and they lie and then they lie and then they lie some more. And do I have it here? No, that's in my other phone. I have to get that some other time. Oh, but seriously though, like I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, why do they never get called out for any of the lies that they tell? Because they surely were sitting at their event. Like they were sitting at their event. It was their event. The reform event in Atlantic City. They knew who was invited. Y'all saw me post it up the other day. The Kushners were there. Ivanka and her husband, Jared Kushner. Ivanka Trump. All that capping. Why does nobody ever call them out for lying? Like they actually had Billboard magazine put out an emergency post. Like How whack is that? Billboard magazine is supposed to be talking about music matters. Billboard magazine is supposed to be talking about artistry, albums, history. Da, da, da. Why did Billboard magazine need to put out a post saying that the Carters weren't sitting with the Kushners, and it was a party. They didn't really. I mean, from what the article about Desiree Perez's pardon said, it was Jared Kushner and Van Jones, who's managed by Rock Nation, who slid the pardon across the president's desk before he had to leave the White House. And they got that inked. So we already know that the Kushners know Desiree Perez and her husband because they got pardons for them both. Are we pardon shopping in advance? I don't know. Or were we hoping that the Kushners knew somebody over there on the board with these people? Maybe the Kushners was only able to get you 2 votes. I don't know. But what I do know is this: God said no. And apparently, so did everybody else in Times Square. Let's not forget, Ivanka's father has a long-standing history in the casino business. He would know everybody on the boards. He would. Maybe that's maybe that was worth risking. Beyonce losing what now, like 11 million and some odd fans. Maybe old Desiree called the Kushners over, who helped her and her husband clean up their image a little bit with that presidential part, and maybe they wanted to see if they could help, you know, make sure that casino bid went through. Maybe they were going to try. Maybe they changed their minds after y'all was so quick to try to pretend like you didn't know. There's nothing worse than that. If you gonna go smutting with somebody and you gonna just be all up in their face and try to make them look like make them feel so special, you can't pretend you don't know them the next day. Karma's a bitch. And what I will say is this: 3 months ago, I brought you the news. 3 months ago, I brought y'all the news. Did I not? Did I not tell y'all they was trying to get a casino, and that's why they was going through all of this trouble trying to shut everything down? The autistic victim, everything, all of that, Demore, all of that, trying to make sure that, did I not? And I told you, in the name of Yeshua, I declare God will not let this happen. Did I not? I predicted the distractions too. I told you everything was coming. I told y'all. I told y'all almost a year ago on Piers Morgan. Little fires everywhere. See, when I pray for something, God answers my prayers. Now y'all can worship the Jigahova, the Jigga man. Y'all make him y'all God if you want. My God answers my prayers. I told y'all. You want to know how much it sucks to be so honest and constantly be called a liar? And I just got to sit there and wait. Like I said, my greatest receipt is time and reality. See, it's not my job to be the most popular person online. It's not my job to be the most sought after and flocked after person online. That's not my job. My job is to show you faithfulness and belief beyond what you can see. That's why I'm here. I've been being called a liar online for 5 years. Everybody done called me a liar for one thing or another, and yet it might not come out in the wash, but it surely does come out in the rinse. And I promise you, at the end of the day, all of this shit gonna get clean. All of it. All of it. A lot of people be upset with me about a lot of things. And a lot of people like running their mouth for clicks and views and for chump change. If I had $20 from every person that ever called me a liar, I'd probably be sitting on like $5 million right now. We already told y'all once a month we're gonna pull it together. I need to raise as much money as I possibly can. I do. I really do. And for those of you who believe me, for those of you who believe in me, I need $1 from 25,000 people. $1. I need 25,000 people this month at some point in time. Just donate $1. Call that dollar a vote. Call it a vote. A vote for Jag to win. I got a lot of legal stuff I got to take care of. I got some people that need to be sued. I got some cases that I need to fight. And I got a company, a nonprofit that I need to raise enough money for to successfully get off the ground so I can create my work in peace and share it with the world. And for other artists who might want to try to get out on their own, thank you, Myrna. But all donations, I'm going to ask for them to go to the PayPal or the Cash App. These donations I cannot split with YouTube because YouTube is not my partner when it comes to my artistry and what I'm trying to build. I need $25,000. $1 at a time. I need 25,000 people this month. And we're going to try it every month. We're going to pick a day. But thank you, though. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you. Because it all counts here, too. I just need $25,000. Every month. I need to be able to raise that every month. I got to retain lawyers. I got to be able to hire people. I need to hire researchers. We got a lot of stuff we need to do. Millions of people have watched me. Millions of views I've gotten. And I've said it on numerous occasions. If I could get $1 for every view I have on this channel, I wouldn't need nothing. We be ready to go. We be ready for war. I'm fighting billionaires, G. I'm fighting billionaires. And trust me, when it comes to the money that I make online, they try to hamstring me every way they can. They make sure that the opposition, that the people that lie about me make more money using my name than I get to, demonetizing videos, for crying out loud. They nearly shut all of our platform down in the middle of the summer because we did the Damori Hadley story. People can say whatever they want to say. They can say I'm begging. They can say whatever they want to say. But we be Johnny on the spot. And here, ain't nobody gonna pull your leg or tell you no lies. We're gonna give you all of the truth that we have access to. And if we short anything, we're gonna go back and we're gonna find it. But we're a small team. I need 25,000 people this month. Just $1. And if you know somebody who believes in what we're trying to do around here, tell them next month. Come by. Just $1, 25,000 people. $1 is a vote for the truth. It's a shame. I should be able to go and collect from everybody that's ever called me a liar. But trust me, they done spent all of that money on God knows what. And for those who have bought the hoodie, thank you. Appreciate you, because all of that is going towards our money raising efforts as well. And we hope you enjoy them. And those Easter eggs, that QR code on that sweatshirt, the beautiful thing about it is you never know what you're going to find. It's my little secret way of sharing some of the art that I've made and some of the things that I've done with y'all. It's a little secret stash between you and me. And that's the one thing that I'm loving about the merch that we're doing now, because that's the point, to get things back to the point where I am able to fund myself as an independent artist without having to do business with companies that are only going to bring me on board so that they can stop me or slow me down or disappear my work or make up some kind of excuse or lie or do whatever the case may be. It's become very clear to me. But if you like what you hear on the merch that you get, imagine when I'll finally be able to actually give you a whole album, music videos, and all of these things. But I gotta go to my base. Awesome, Margie. I can't wait. And like I said, for those of you who can't afford to get a hoodie, just $1. Man, if I could get $1 for every view I get, like I said, I wouldn't need anything. I got almost 7 million views on this channel. Imagine if I could get $1 for every view. Man, Odell would have had everything done by now. I could see him now with his little staff and his little team. My goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Maya. But no, for real though, just the devil got a lot of people working for him. He got a lot of people doing all kinds of things. God's people got to learn to show up and show out for God's people, like the devil's people show up and show out for the devil. These people lie to y'all. These people pull your legs. Meanwhile, they're taking all of the money to harass people, to destroy people's lives, do all these kinds of things. And people just keep running and giving them their money. And the product that they share does nothing but destroy minds, destroy hearts, tear people apart. Congratulations, Margie. But God's people got to show up and show out the same way the devil people show up. When I think about, I'm sitting there listening to all of the money that some of these people, these pundits, is raising, and they getting funding from this country and funding from that country. They getting all kinds of stuff, and it's just like it's funny, but that's why I don't give up because I know how God moves. I know how He works. My confidence in God. Hmm. If I could tell you how many times they tried to have me up out of here, if I could tell you how many times I've heard the plots and the plans that they've had to have me up out of here, and I'm not just talking about offline, I'm talking about off this earth. I everything that once made me me, I either had to walk away from or I lost. And somewhere along the way, I had to find a new definition for my life. Not Jag or Jaguar the artist or Jackie the wife, mother, daughter, aunt, whatever. Not Jaguar, right? The this, the that. And it just, some people like arguing with the fact that they call me an activist. So don't call me an activist. Call me an activator because that's what I do. I activate things. I get things moving, G. Don't call me an activist if you don't want to. Call me an activator because I promise you, you add me to the situation, shit's going to get popping. See, that's the new definition of my life. The advocate. You don't want to call me an advocate? That's fine. Call me the person that points, call me the pointer. I found a new definition. And ain't nobody separating me from it. It's a beautiful thing about life. Evolution. And when you're brave enough and also a defender of freedom, let's hope that free speech stays around for a little while. I know that God wants me exactly where I'm at for a reason. Salute, Elder. Altruistic, advocating, activating. You best believe it. I wish it didn't require money. I wish I could do it all on what I feel inside. I wish I could do it all on what drives me. I wish I could just take all of this and turn it into whatever I need. But unfortunately, we still work and operate in a world where money money is needed. So I can't go to the devil and get it. The devil ain't gonna give it to me because I ain't gonna do what the devil wants me to do. So the only thing that I can do is go to my base. It's the only thing I can do. I can't expect everybody to see the value or the relevance or the importance, but spend a little time on this channel. Look at the content. Look at what we have to share. Go over to the Jaguar Wright show. See what we have over there. Go over to Set in the West. See what we have over there. We ain't wasting time. We handling up. What I will promise you is this. You won't see anything that we do anywhere else. Oh, thank you, ACG. But everything that you do, we appreciate, and everyone that has donated and everyone that continues to donate. We don't say names around here because the people that help us get stalked and harassed, not because we don't appreciate you. We appreciate everything. Please keep your memberships going, please. For those of you who can donate, we appreciate that as well. We are a legitimate nonprofit, Cruelty Free Artistry, Inc. We are real, and we need funding, just like every other company. Man, when I heard that Charlie Kirk was getting threatened and somebody threatened to take away a $2 million investment from his nonprofit because Turning Point, Turning Point is a nonprofit. Well, I'm like, you sitting here worried about losing 2 million, man. I wish we could get that. Charlie Kirk over there getting 100. He's over there getting 130 million in donations. Are you kidding me? The cash app that we have, it's in the description. It's just Cruelty Free Artistry, or you could hit up the PayPal and you could go over to the jaguarwright.com. Thank you for the inquiry and thank you for the support. Yeah, yeah. Sitting there turning down 140, $150 million donation from Israel. I'm like, I'm trying to understand. Like, man, you go to college campuses and you yell at a bunch of kids and you can get 140 million. I'm like, what? Man. I'm like, maybe I need to start going to some college campuses with a loudspeaker. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out where you sign up to just be able to collect 100 some odd million in donation. Like I'm trying to I need like do they got like a I don't know, is it some kind of class? 'Cause they getting it. We don't need nearly that much. We don't need nearly that much. Oh my goodness. I'm working on some new interviews so for defending your freedom. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy them. We have a little bit more research we need to do, and we're going to, of course, stay with our Hadley updates. Um, We're gonna be doing a little more research though. I don't know what happened to Sat in the West. He might have fallen asleep. Odell, you over there? Yeah, is Israel hiring? Well, I think so. As Officer Tatum, they eating his ass up. That little whack job. They eating him up. He went over there and got him some of that BB Net and Yahoo direct. Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I am not interested in taking no money from none of them people over there. I am not interested. It comes along with way too many ties. Like, and it's wild because right must be nice. I'm just it's really interesting with Pennsylvania Slam, Jay-Z, Rock Nation for school voucher push, and out of state billionaire is pairing with a suburban Philadelphia one to try to destroy public education. Said, yeah, I've been saying it. I wonder if that's where Jill Scott is getting that money for that school they supposed to be letting her run. I hope it ain't come from that jigger business. It's so funny. I was listening to some rap that Will Smith was saying, talking about something about if you talk about me on stage, I'm a be on the stage or whatever, trying to, talk about Chris Rock or whatever the case may be. And it was so funny because I was listening to the cadence of it. And I was like, man, that sure does sound like Black Thought. And it was funny because in the rap, he shouted out Jill Scott and the Roots and Meek Mills. And it was funny because it had me thinking about that time when I heard about, how Meek Mills. It was so funny because like I've been seeing so many interesting things, and like there's this video bigging up Charlie Mack and talking about what a legend he is in Philly and this, that, and the third, and whatever the case may be. And it talked about how he was responsible for discovering Meek Mills and for discovering Bashir Gray. And I'm like, he didn't discover neither one of them. They were already discovered. Bashir Gray was discovered by Larry Lair, his stepfather, who Charlie Mack weaseled out of the picture as he corralled his mom Andy in. And now look at Bashir. Look at what Charlie Mack management done for him now. They're talking about Meek Mills, and I'm just thinking about when Meek first started. He was sitting there working it up out of the Bat Cave. It was DJ Cosmic Kev. It was Cosmic Kev that discovered Meek Mills and broke his career. If it wasn't for Cosmic Kev, I don't think anybody would even know who Meek was. He played Meek so much. He played Meek damn near every day. He made Philly love Meek. And right as Meek was right there, and he was becoming, and he was about to break. And it was so funny because Kev said to Meek, because Meek wanted him to manage him and Meek wanted him to be his manager. And he said, I'm not going to put you under contract until I'm sure I can get you a deal. Until there's some money to be made, I'm not going to put you under contract. Like, do you know how dope that is? Cosmic Kev was one of the largest radio DJs. His power jam, like all of that, everything that he did, like Meek was. He put Meek on. His heart was broken too because he finally put together that contract and Meek was supposed to sign. But the day before, apparently he met with Charlie Mack. And Charlie said, Kev is small potatoes, but I can take you to LA right now and I can put you in front of Will Smith. And of course, Meek just jumped on that private plane that night and didn't show up to the meeting to sign the contract with the very man who made his career. And I want to tell you this right here, Meek. Because, see, everybody else might sit around and they might forget about you before your bunny hopping days with the Reuben boy. Before your Rock Nation days. Before Desiree came and helped work you out of your situation that you probably should have really been in. They'll fix those charges for you when they got your loyalty. See, I remember where you started, little nigga. I remember. Everybody else might have act like they forgot. I remember. You don't even say Cosmic Kev name. You ungrateful little shit. And they got video with Charlie Mack talking about he discovered you. In what fucking universe? See, people get real lost in the money. They get real lost. But I'm going to tell you what else I remember. You wasn't at the Smith compound, but what, 48 hours before you had to run up out of there? You left there in just as much a hurry as Bashir did when he got taken there by Charlie fucking Mack. And then somehow you ended up in Miami. You didn't want to come back to Philly. You ain't come back to Philly until you came back with your girlfriend, Nicki Minaj, and her security. No, you was down in Miami with Rick Ross, actually Rose. Real Rick Ross ain't never been obese. Freeway Ricky ain't never been obese. The real Rick Ross. See all these frauds. You was down in Miami, Meek, running around talking about how you didn't want to go back to Philly because all Philly niggas was weird because all the niggas in Philly was gay. That's what you was saying in Miami. Going from club to club, talking big shit about Philly. But you ain't start talking like that until after you left Will Smith's house. See, I remember, nigga. I remember your little ass. It's sad. The lies you people tell. It's so sad. And just because you done crawled up underneath the diddler's nuts and you're hanging around Jay-Z's ankles, it ain't gonna change the fact that you have a debt to pay to the man who you stabbed in the back, who gave everything he had to make you everything you are. I'm about to make Will Smith wish he never spit that rhyme because I promise you,
You talk about me on the stage, I'm gonna be you on the stage. Yeah, that was Tariq Trotter. I dollars to donuts. I bet money Reek right. He wrote that. I bet. Put himself in it, put the roots in it, put Jill in it. And the only reason Jill was in it was because of the Touch of Jazz Association, because she was down there with Jazz. And then every time you would come through, and she used to get so, I'll never forget, Jill's pussy used to get wet every time Will Smith would come to Philly and he'd come down to Touch of Jazz down third and Gallo Hill. And she, oh my goodness, Will Smith came through. Oh my goodness. Hey, he has a concierge in his car. She's such a fucking dick rider. And Paul Wall, the next time you want to brag about how great it is to know, how about you remember who the fuck introduced you to her? I ain't never been introduced to somebody who was so amazing, who I was so grateful that they came into my life and they're such a wonderful person and it's just an amazing person. I don't remember who introduced us. That's crazy because usually when you meet life changing people, you remember who the fuck introduced you to them. I see what all y'all Schluminati niggas is doing online these days. Ever since Diddy, now that Diddy out the way and all of y'all got to keep your heads ducked down, and now that Michael Rubin is throwing the white parties and everything is back to the way it used to. I see what you're doing. You got people out here, you're doing your interviews and y'all trying to clean up each other's reputations and trying to make each other look good again. Like, I see what you're doing. Now stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that y'all look funny, but yo, you making money. See, rest in peace, Shakti. You stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the styles that you used to. Y'all look funny, but yo, you making money, right? Reek, next time you want to write a song for Will Smith, tell him go get a fucking verse from Kendrick. He ain't do a good job hiding your trail. I know your cadence just as good as I know my own. The entire style of that fucking rap. It's all you, Reek. I bet it dollars to donuts, but we'll say allegedly for now. But I bet it dollars to donuts. If you talk about me on stage, I'm see you on stage. Yeah, that's you, Reek. That's your style all the way. It's funny because Meek didn't start saying that all the men in Philly was gay until after he left Will Smith's house. It's funny. August Alsina went there. He started screwing his wife, and now all of a sudden he gay too, and being accused of bride and grooming somebody underage. Hmm. Yeah, they all doing the Humpty Hump. Yeah, nah. I don't miss none of y'all and none of your weirdo ways and none of the weird shit y'all got going on at all. I don't. There were good times. But when I look back now, I see it all for what it was. A bunch of handlers working for the boule, sussing through all of the fake ones from the real ones and making sure that y'all all work together to shut the real ones down by any means necessary so y'all could continue to live your fake ass fucking lives. You're more than welcome to it. See, I remember everything. Yeah, so on that note, I think my co-host is going to sleep, but I think he was good enough to mute up tonight. Y'all know Set in the West. I'm not sure when he's gonna be going live, but here we are. And yeah, my name is Jaguar Wright. Welcome to Jaguar Country. Thank you for tuning in to the Jaguar Wright Show. And is there anything else? I don't know. I don't think so. Thank you for the almost actually, since we're here, come on, tap that screen. We're very close. We're very close. We can get to like at least 650, 700 likes before we go. We got enough people in here. Come on, tap that screen. But yeah. Now I think I'm about to have me a late night snack because I didn't eat dinner. I got little something going on over there. But yeah, let's see. Where are all my friends? Yeah, ask Uncle Teddy about that. Is there anything else? No, but we're gonna be around this week. There's a couple other things we're probably gonna talk about. Um, no, I think that's it. All right, well, salute 555 left in the building. All right, we're over 650. Replay gang, if you don't mind, get us to that 1K. I will. I will, Michael. It's always good to see you guys. Shout out and salute to all of our mods. Auntie Lee is doing some really awesome stuff over there. Make sure you check out Archangel Angel Michael. I wasn't able to make it tonight, but Natanya Rubin was live tonight. Please make sure you go over there and support her. Um, Jay Mizak's channel. Salute to Nick for stopping through. Kenzen, thank you for stopping through. And to all of our members, our family. Ooh, I appreciate those likes, but I'm not saying it for the life of me. I'm not saying it. Um, we got some pretty awesome stuff going on. So, but I'll be back this week, a few other times. Like I said, there's a lot to discuss, but after this came out today, had to come through. Had to come through because we talked about it. We talked about it when it first became public knowledge. We talked about it as we saw it progressing. We talked about it all, and now here we are. But I just wanted to make sure that I reminded everybody that we sat right here on this channel and I told you, I declared it, I called it in the name of Yeshua, Asheo. It will not be happening. This will not happen. God will say no. And he did. And that's just, that's awesome. It's always awesome when God answers our prayers and we get to really, really, really just we get to revel in the fact that there is an almighty living God. He does hear us and he does answer prayer. Times Square has enough danger in it as it is. It really doesn't need more. Salute to everyone. And let's keep praying. Apparently, it works.